Chapter 3. After lunch, I prowled the corridors, looking for an exit. I was intending to sneak outside and have a cigarette, but I was discovered by Indira by the fire escape. She assumed I was lost. "Don't worry, Theo," she said, taking my arm. "It took me months to get my bearings around here, like a maze with no way out. I still get lost sometimes, and I've been here 10 years. She laughed. Before I could object, she was guiding me upstairs for a cup of tea in the goldfish bowl. "I'll put the kettle on. Bloody miserable weather, isn't it? I wish it would just snow and get it over with. Snow is a very powerful imaginative symbol, don't you think? Wipes everything clean. Have you noticed how the patients keep talking about it? Look out for it. It's interesting." To my surprise, she reached into her bag and pulled out a thick slice of cake wrapped in cling film. She thrust it into my hand. "Take it. Walnut cake. I made it last night. For you." "Oh, thank you. I know it's unorthodox, but I always get better results with difficult patients if I give them a slice of cake in the session." I laughed. "I bet you do. Am I a difficult patient?" Indira laughed. "No, although I find it works just as well on difficult members of staff too, which you're not either, by the way. A little bit of sugar is a great mood enhancer. I used to make cakes for the canteen, but then Stephanie made such a fuss. All this health and safety nonsense about food being brought in from the outside. You'd think I was smuggling it in a file, but I still bake a little on the sly. My rebellion against the dictator state. Try it." This was not a question, but a command. I took a bite. It was good. Chewy, nutty, sweet. My mouth was full, so I covered it with my hand as I spoke. "I think this would definitely put your patients in a good mood." Indira laughed and looked pleased. I realized why I liked her. She radiated a kind of maternal calm. She reminded me of my old therapist, Ruth. It was hard to imagine her ruffled or upset. I glanced around the room as she made the tea. The nurse's station is always the hub of psychiatric unit, its heart. Staff flow to and from it, and it is where the ward is run from day to day, at least where all the practical decisions are made. The Goldfish Bowl was the nurse's nickname for the station, as its walls were made of reinforced glass, meaning staff could keep an eye on the patients in the recreation room, in theory at least. In practice, the patients hovered restlessly outside, staring in, watching us, so we were the ones under constant observation. The small space did not have enough chairs, and the ones that were there were generally occupied by nurses typing up notes, so you mostly stood in the middle of the room or leaned awkwardly against the desk, which gave the space a crowded feel, no matter how many people were in it. "Here you are, love." Indira handed me a mug of tea. "Thanks," I said. Christian ambled in and nodded at me. He smelled strongly of the peppermint gum he was always chewing. I remember he used to smoke heavily when we were at Broadmoor together. It was one of the few things we had in common. Since then, Christian had quit, got married, and had a baby daughter. I wondered what kind of father he made. He didn't strike me as a particularly compassionate. He gave me a cold smile. "Funny seeing you again like this, Theo." "Small world." "In mental health terms, it is, yes." Christian said this as if to imply he might be found in other, larger worlds. I tried to imagine what they might be. I could only imagine him in the gym or in a scrum on the rugby field. Christian stared at me for a few seconds. I'd forgotten his habit of pausing, often lengthily, making you wait while he considered his response. It irritated me here just as much as it had done at Broadmoor. "You're joining the team at rather an unfortunate moment," he said eventually. "The sword of Damocles is hanging over the grove." "You think it's as bad as that?" "It's only a matter of time. The trust is bound to shut us down sooner or later, so the question is, what are you doing here?" "What do you mean?" I asked. "Well, rats desert a sinking ship. They don't clamber on board." I was startled by Christian's undisguised aggression. I decided not to rise to the bait. I shrugged. "Possibly, but I'm not a rat." Before Christian could reply, a massive thud made us jump. Elif was on the other side of the glass, hammering at it with her fists. Her face was pressed up against it, squashing her nose, distorting her features, making her almost monstrous. "I won't take this shit no more. I hate this. These fucking pills, man." Christian opened a small hatch in the glass and spoke through it. "Now is not the time to discuss this, Elif." "I'm telling you, I'm not taking them no more. They make me fucking sick." "I'm not having this conversation now. Making an appointment to see me. Step away, please. Elif scowled, deliberating for a moment, then she turned and lumbered off, leaving a faint circle of condensation where her nose had been pressed against the glass. Quite a character, I said. Christian grunted. Difficult. Indira nodded. Poor Elif. What's she in for? Double murder, Christian said. Killed her mother and her sister. Suffocated them while they slept. I peered through the glass. Elif joined the other patients. She towered over them. One of them slipped some money into her hand, which she pocketed. Then I noticed Alicia at the far end of the room, sitting by herself, by the window, looking out. I watched her for a moment. Christian followed my gaze and said, By the way, I've been talking to Professor Diomedes about Alicia. I want to see how she does on a lower dose of risperidone. I brought her down to 5 milligrams. I see. I thought you might want to know, since I heard you saw her for a session. Yes. We'll have to monitor her closely to see how she reacts to the change. And, by the way, next time you have a problem with how I medicate my patients, come to me directly. Don't sneak off to Diomedes behind my back. Christian glared at me. I smiled back at him. I didn't sneak anywhere. I have no problem talking to you directly, Christian. There was an uncomfortable pause. Christian nodded to himself, as if he'd made his mind up about something. You do realize Alicia is borderline. She won't respond to therapy. You're wasting your time. How do you know she's borderline if she can't talk? Won't talk. You think she's faking? Yes, as a matter of fact, I do, Christian said. If she's faking, then how can she be borderline? I said. Christian looked irritated. Indira interrupted before he could reply. With all due respect, I don't feel umbrella terms like borderline are particularly helpful. They don't tell us anything very useful at all. She glanced at Christian. This is a subject Christian and I disagree on frequently. And how do you feel about Alicia? I asked her. Indira pondered the question for a moment. I find myself feeling very maternal toward her. That's my countertransference. That's what she brings out in me. I feel she needs someone to take care of her. Indira smiled at me. And now she has someone. She has you. Christian laughed that annoying laugh of his. Forgive me for being so dense, but how can Alicia benefit from therapy if she doesn't talk? Therapy isn't just about talking, Indira said. It's about providing a safe space, a containing environment. Most communication is nonverbal, as I'm sure you know. Christian rolled his eyes at me. Good luck, mate. You'll need it.